Have you ever felt drained after extending a helping hand to someone, only to find yourself wondering if the gesture was worth it? We're often told that kindness and compassion are virtues to strive for, yet the subtle perils of overextending ourselves are rarely discussed. The reality is that unchecked generosity can lead to fatigue, frustration, and even harm to our well-being. Today, we'll explore these hidden costs of kindness, guided by timeless Stoic wisdom, and discover how to maintain balance while living generously. To begin, consider this simple truth. Life, as the Stoics teach, is about harmony. Virtues like kindness and generosity are noble pursuits, but when they tilt too far out of balance, they can become burdens instead of blessings. Let's delve into the unseen consequences of overgiving and how we can guard against them with practical strategies. The trap of unrealistic expectations. Generosity often comes with invisible strings attached. Whether we admit it or not, giving usually carries the hope of something in return, be it gratitude, reciprocity, or simply acknowledgement. When these expectations aren't met, disappointment looms large. Imagine you've spent weeks helping a friend prepare for a major event, only to realize they don't offer to support you during your time of need. This scenario might sting, leaving you feeling undervalued and taken for granted. The Stoics remind us that placing our happiness in the hands of others' actions is a recipe for discontent. Instead, we must give freely, without attachment to the outcome, fostering peace of mind and emotional detachment. This approach, however, isn't easy. The human heart craves connection and fairness. We're wired to expect kindness in return for our efforts. But embracing a Stoic mindset, accepting people as they are and not as we wish them to be, can help us break free from the chains of unmet expectations. It's not about suppressing our natural emotions, but learning to channel them into a healthier, more sustainable perspective. The risk of dependency. One of the most subtle dangers of constant generosity is fostering dependency in others. Picture this. You frequently lend money to a relative, and over time, they begin to see it as an entitlement rather than a favor. They've grown accustomed to your generosity, so much so that they no longer consider alternatives to solve their problems. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes invaluable. According to the Stoics, true worth lies in living virtuously and sensibly. Balance in giving ensures that you remain in control of your actions while encouraging others to take responsibility for their own lives. By establishing healthy boundaries, you empower those around you to grow instead of enabling their dependency, sacrificing your own priorities. It's easy to neglect your needs when you're always prioritizing others. But what happens when you ignore your own responsibilities to shoulder someone else's burdens? Over time, this imbalance can lead to inner turmoil and resentment. The Stoics teach that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. Think of it like this. Before helping a friend clean their house, you must first ensure your own is in order. Neglecting your priorities doesn't just harm you. It diminishes your capacity to support others effectively. Take Maria, a dedicated volunteer who spends most of her weekends helping at shelters. While her efforts are commendable, she's often too exhausted to enjoy time with her family or pursue personal hobbies. Over time, her enthusiasm wanes, and she feels disconnected from her own life. Maria's story is a powerful reminder. Generosity must never come at the expense of self-preservation. The power of boundaries. Without boundaries, generosity can be misconstrued as weakness. People may come to expect your help, viewing you as someone who can't say no. Ironically, this perception can erode the respect they have for you. Take Ben, for instance. Known for his willingness to assist co-workers, Ben found himself overwhelmed with tasks that weren't his responsibility. When he finally mustered the courage to decline a request, he was met with surprise, but also newfound respect. Setting boundaries transformed Ben's relationships, proving that assertiveness is often the key to fostering mutual respect. Stoicism emphasizes self-control and inner strength. By learning to say no when necessary, you'll protect your energy and command respect from others. Remember, boundaries aren't barriers. They're bridges to healthier, more balanced relationships. The shadow of opportunism. Not everyone who seeks your help does so with pure intentions. Some are driven by self-interest, exploiting your generosity for their gain. These individuals can leave you feeling drained and unappreciated, questioning the value of your kindness. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward change. Stoic discernment teaches us to evaluate the intentions of those around us. By observing their actions rather than their words, we can distinguish genuine connections from opportunistic ones. It's not about becoming cynical, but cultivating wisdom to invest your energy wisely. Consider Anna, a teacher who often stayed late to help students with their assignments. While many appreciated her efforts, a few took advantage of her willingness, constantly demanding more without gratitude. When Anna started setting limits, she noticed a shift. The opportunists drifted away, while genuine students remained supportive and appreciative. Energy depletion in the company you keep. Generosity, when unchecked, can drain your emotional reserves. This low energy often attracts negative individuals who feed off your kindness without offering anything in return. Over time, this cycle can leave you feeling depleted and resentful. The Stoics advocate for nurturing relationships that uplift and energize you. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals creates a virtuous cycle of mutual growth and encouragement. When your energy is high, you radiate positivity, attracting like-minded people who value and reciprocate your kindness. Striking the balance. Moderation is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Practicing self-discipline in your generosity ensures that you don't fall into patterns of overgiving or neglect. By maintaining balance, you protect your well-being while continuing to make meaningful contributions to the lives of others. As you reflect on these insights, consider how they apply to your own life. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your own generosity? Have you struggled to set boundaries with those who rely on you? The answers to these questions hold the key to a more harmonious existence. At this point, it's worth noting the importance of community. If you found these lessons valuable, I invite you to join our journey of exploration and self-discovery by subscribing to Buddhism in Modern Life. Together, we can continue to uncover timeless wisdom and apply it to our contemporary challenges. The journey toward balanced generosity begins with self-awareness. By understanding the hidden costs of kindness and embracing Stoic strategies, you can cultivate a life of purpose and fulfillment. Remember, generosity is a gift, one that shines brightest when offered with intention and care. In the next part, we'll explore practical steps to implement these principles in your daily life, ensuring your kindness remains a source of strength rather than a source of strain. Having explored the hidden pitfalls of unchecked kindness in the first section, we now turn our focus to actionable steps you can take to transform your generosity into a sustainable and empowering practice. Stoic philosophy emphasizes not only self-awareness but also practical wisdom, and it's this balance that can guide us in navigating the complexities of giving. Embracing emotional awareness. The first step toward balanced generosity is cultivating emotional awareness. Your feelings often act as indicators of whether your kindness is harmonious or draining. Reflect on moments when you felt joy after helping someone, and contrast them with times you felt resentful or used. These emotional cues are invaluable in assessing your boundaries. Consider a real-life example of emotional awareness in action. Lily, a busy entrepreneur, frequently found herself overcommitting to her team's personal and professional needs. While she genuinely cared for her colleagues, she began noticing a lingering sense of fatigue and frustration after work. Recognizing these feelings, Lily implemented a practice of pausing before agreeing to requests. By doing so, she gained clarity on when to assist and when to step back, fostering a healthier dynamic in her workplace. The art of saying no. Many people struggle with the word no, associating it with negativity or selfishness. Yet, as the Stoics teach, the ability to say no is an essential component of living virtuously. By declining tasks or requests that overextend you, you preserve your energy for meaningful contributions. Start small if saying no feels daunting. Practice with low-stakes scenarios, like declining an invitation to a non-essential meeting or postponing a favor that doesn't require immediate attention. Over time, this practice builds confidence, making it easier to assert boundaries in more significant situations. Think of Michael, a community leader known for his dedication. While his peers admired his commitment, they often took advantage of his availability. When Michael began respectfully declining additional responsibilities, he noticed a shift. His no wasn't met with resentment, but with a newfound respect for his time and priorities. Investing in self-care. Generosity flourishes when rooted in a foundation of self-care. Imagine trying to water a garden with an empty watering can. Similarly, if you're depleted, your ability to support others diminishes. Prioritize activities that rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. Adopting a daily routine that includes mindfulness practices, exercise, and hobbies can significantly impact your overall well-being. For instance, Sarah, a nurse working long shifts, struggled with burnout from constantly giving her time and energy to patients and family. By dedicating her mornings to yoga and journaling, she restored her sense of balance and found herself better equipped to provide care without feeling overwhelmed. Fostering reciprocal relationships. Genuine generosity thrives in relationships where giving and receiving are mutual. Seek connections that uplift and energize you, rather than those that drain your resources. This doesn't mean abandoning those in need, but rather investing more deeply in individuals who also contribute positively to your life. John, a mentor to aspiring entrepreneurs, embodies this principle. While he offers guidance and support to many, he prioritizes relationships with mentors who show initiative and gratitude. This reciprocal dynamic not only amplifies his impact, but also enriches his experience as a mentor. Navigating complex relationships. Not all relationships are straightforward, and some may require careful navigation to avoid being exploited. Consider employing Stoic discernment to assess whether a relationship is beneficial or detrimental. This involves observing patterns of behavior over time, rather than reacting to isolated incidents. For example, Maria, a social worker, often encountered clients who pushed boundaries. While her instinct was to help, she learned to differentiate between genuine need and manipulative behavior. This discernment allowed her to allocate her resources effectively, ensuring her efforts made a meaningful difference. Managing expectations. One of the greatest challenges in giving is managing expectations, both your own and those of others. The Stoics remind us that while we can control our actions, we cannot dictate how others will respond. By letting go of unrealistic expectations, you free yourself from the emotional burden of disappointment. Imagine hosting a community event and investing significant time and resources into its success. Despite your efforts, attendance is lower than anticipated. Rather than dwelling on unmet expectations, focus on the positive impact on those who did attend. This shift in perspective aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what lies within your control. Cultivating gratitude. Generosity and gratitude go hand in hand. Expressing appreciation for the kindness you receive fosters a sense of connection and balance. When others see you valuing their contributions, it creates a ripple effect, encouraging mutual respect and generosity. Emily, a teacher, makes it a point to thank her colleagues and students for their support and efforts. This practice not only strengthens her relationships, but also reminds her to cherish the positive aspects of her work, even during challenging times. Aligning generosity with purpose. Finally, consider aligning your acts of generosity with a sense of purpose. When your giving is guided by clear values and intentions, it becomes a source of fulfillment rather than obligation. Reflect on what matters most to you and channel your energy accordingly. For instance, Mark, a software developer, volunteers his skills to create accessible technology for individuals with disabilities. This alignment between his expertise and passion not only amplifies his impact but also brings a deep sense of satisfaction. The power of balanced generosity. By embracing these strategies, you can transform your approach to generosity, ensuring it remains a source of strength rather than a drain on your resources. Remember, the journey toward balanced giving is not about perfection but progress. As you refine your practices, you'll discover the profound joy that comes from intentional, meaningful acts of kindness. In the final section, we'll delve deeper into the philosophical underpinnings of these principles and explore how to integrate them seamlessly into your daily life. Stay tuned for the concluding insights on crafting a life of purposeful generosity. As we approach the conclusion of this exploration into balanced generosity, It's time to delve deeper into the philosophical roots that underpin these practices and integrate them into our daily lives. Stoicism provides a profound framework for understanding not just why we give, but how to do so in a way that uplifts both ourselves and others. By grounding our actions in purpose and self-awareness, we can transcend the pitfalls of overgiving and create a more harmonious existence. The Stoic principle of inner strength. At the heart of Stoicism lies the belief in cultivating inner strength. True generosity stems from a place of abundance within, not material abundance, but a richness of spirit. When you're grounded in your values and priorities, your kindness becomes a natural extension of your character, rather than a response to external pressures. This inner strength is exemplified in the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite his immense responsibilities, Marcus practiced kindness with discernment. He offered his support to those in need, yet remained steadfast in his commitment to personal growth and duty. His writings remind us that true power lies in controlling our reactions and maintaining our integrity, even in the face of adversity. Practical reflection. Finding your why. To align your generosity with purpose, begin by reflecting on your motivations. Ask yourself, why do I give? Is it out of a genuine desire to help, or am I seeking validation? These questions are not meant to judge, but to clarify your intentions. Take the story of Priya, a community organizer who felt overwhelmed by the endless demands on her time. By journaling about her experiences, she uncovered a pattern. Her generosity was often driven by a fear of disappointing others. This insight allowed Priya to reframe her actions, focusing on causes that resonated deeply with her values. The result was a more meaningful and sustainable approach to giving. The role of detachment in generosity. One of the most liberating aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on detachment. This doesn't mean withdrawing from life or relationships, but rather releasing the need for control over outcomes. When you give with detachment, you free yourself from the anxiety of how your kindness will be received. Consider a volunteer at a local shelter who prepares meals for those in need. If their primary goal is to ensure every recipient expresses gratitude, they may become disheartened by a lack of acknowledgement. However, if they focus on the act itself, the joy of cooking and the knowledge that they are contributing to a greater good, their generosity remains intact, unaffected by external responses. Building a community of purpose. Generosity is not a solitary endeavor. It flourishes in the context of community. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can amplify your impact and provide a support system that sustains your efforts. A powerful example of this is seen in mutual aid groups, where members contribute resources and skills to support one another. These communities thrive because they are built on trust, reciprocity, and shared values. By participating in such groups, you can experience the synergy of collective generosity while maintaining balance in your personal contributions. Generosity as a practice of virtue. For the Stoics, generosity is more than an act. It is a practice of virtue. This means approaching every opportunity to give with mindfulness and intentionality. It's not about the quantity of what you offer, but the quality of your presence and effort. Sophia, an artist, embodies this principle. Rather than donating large sums of money, she dedicates her time to mentoring young creatives. Her generosity lies in her willingness to share knowledge and inspire others, demonstrating that the most meaningful gifts often cannot be measured in material terms. The interplay of gratitude and generosity. Gratitude and generosity are deeply intertwined. When you cultivate gratitude, you develop an appreciation for what you have, which naturally extends to a desire to share with others. This creates a positive feedback loop, where giving enhances your sense of abundance and gratitude reinforces your willingness to give. Take a moment to practice gratitude daily. Reflect on the people, opportunities, and experiences that enrich your life. By acknowledging these blessings, you set the stage for acts of kindness that are rooted in genuine appreciation rather than obligation, leaving a legacy of kindness. As you integrate these principles into your life, consider the legacy you wish to leave. Generosity is not confined to individual acts. It shapes the way others remember and are inspired by you. Your consistent, thoughtful kindness can ripple outward, influencing those around you to adopt similar practices. Think of Mr. Lee, a retired teacher who spent decades supporting his students both academically and personally. Even years after his retirement, former students often speak of his unwavering encouragement and the values he instilled. His generosity left an indelible mark, demonstrating the enduring power of purposeful giving. In this journey toward balanced generosity, remember that small, intentional steps can lead to profound transformations. Whether it's setting boundaries, aligning your actions with your values, or fostering gratitude, every effort contributes to a more harmonious life. And as you cultivate these practices, consider sharing your experiences with others. By subscribing to Buddhism in Modern Life, you join a community dedicated to exploring timeless wisdom and applying it to contemporary challenges. Generosity, when practiced with intention and balance, becomes a source of strength and joy. As you move forward, let Stoic principles guide you in crafting a life of meaningful, sustainable kindness. Embrace the journey and trust that your thoughtful actions will create a brighter, more compassionate world for all.